All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. I'm definitely happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with us this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of in the Forex market. So, without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. Quick sound check. Drop me a one in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. And you are all ready to go. Joy, I appreciate it right out the gate. I see the one coming in. So let's make sure that each and every morning, as always, in the Forex trade room, that we start by taking massive action, making sure that we are accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing for any outcome. We want to make sure that we center ourselves in body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading. We want to always trust in our education, strategy, trading skills, and intuition. And we always want to imagine our trade successfully materializing, and that we are at all times obeying our trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear. And we want to make sure that we are never looking back or stopping once our trade has commenced. So let's get right to it, as I may have to end this a little bit early this morning because I have a big presentation at 9 a.m. that I actually need to finish preparing for. So let's see. Moving over to the fundamentals, right? Let's take a look at the dollar, find out what's going on amidst all the chaos. The US dollar index remains stable around 103.5 on Thursday after gaining ground in the previous session as investors weigh the impact of the escalating global trade war on the economy and consumers. In the latest developments, President Trump vowed to impose additional tariffs following retaliatory measures from the EU and Canada in response to his steel and aluminum duties. Trump also reiterated warnings of reciprocal tariffs set to take effect next month, fueling further uncertainty in global markets. Meanwhile, the U.S. consumer inflation data released on Wednesday came in softer than expected for February, offering some relief to investors. However, the full impact of newly implemented tariffs has yet to be realized, raising concerns that inflation could pick up again in the coming months. Looking ahead, the Fed is set to announce its policy decision next week, with markets widely expecting the central bank to keep rates unchanged while unveiling updated economic projections. So we're talking about forward guidance at that point, as they probably will hold. I'm thinking they will hold too, because the continuing resolution, right, really doesn't that the House passed, really that the Democrats are saying they may tank all that back and forth, whatever. But in that, when I was looking at that continuing resolution, which is 99 pages long, a lot of stuff in there, but there's really no cuts to spending. So I definitely don't see, the Fed making a decision to cut next week. So I'm going to expect them to hold, right? Just like they're forecasting here, and then look at the forward guidance, right? So we will see. I think they may be holding uh, for quite some time, unless we start seeing uh, if we see a continuation of the jobs reports and things like that, you know, continue to miss forecasts. So we start to see a decline in jobs and things like that. So other than that, that's that on the dollar. Headed back to the front page, European stocks trade lower. I know we got a boost yesterday, a rally, but right now it's looking early, like with the futures, looking like, at least in the futures market, some of those gains will be wiped out. But we will see when the market opens this morning and see what happens with US, with the U.S. market open. Eurozone industrial production rebounds in January. That's good. And today, right, it says here U.S. PPI likely slowed in um, likely slowed in February. So today at 8:30, we've got core PPI coming out. Core PPI and overall PPI month over month. Expected is 0.3%. We'll see if it comes in lower than that, right? Lower than forecast. And then we've got unemployment claims. today. So we'll see with everything that's going on with the federal government, what happens there with that number. So the forecast is 226,000. Previous was 221. And we'll see. We also have the natural gas storage data coming out today. So the main thing being that core PPI is what's going to drive the news today. So that's that on uh, the fundamentals. Want to look at gold because I still think it's going to get to 3,000. It's actually like a little over 3,000 for the daily extension to be hit, but the gold rose above 29.40 per ounce on Thursday, approaching record levels as escalating global trade tensions continue to fuel safe haven demand. Um, on Wednesday, President Donald Trump have additional EU goods, additional tariffs on you. We already talked about that, but um, reserve flex. Okay, so we already know. So headed towards 3,000. I thought we'd have been there by now. It's gold is performing well, but not as well as I thought, considering um a lot of the situations right that we have going on globally. I thought it would move to 3,000 a lot faster, but I think we're gonna get there. It's just been a little slow, in my opinion. So we will see. Any questions regarding any of the fundamentals? Right? Still dealing with a tariff showdown. We know that's gonna be ongoing. Um, you know, still dealing with the continuing resolution, right? So the House passed it. We'll see what happens with the Democrats here. But Fed shut down. I don't think so. Um, I know it's a lot of back and forth, but looking, I was breaking down. Let me see if I can uh-oh. Let me see if I can pull up some of the stuff that I was looking at and working on that because I was doing some research on it last night with on that bill and today it so it really doesn't like as far as like military and national security. Defense spending remains a top priority. Billions for provides continued aid and military assistance abroad for Ukraine and Israel. More funding for weapons and military technology on the healthcare front. The way it's proposed now extends funding for Medicare and Medicaid, funds hospitals and rural healthcare areas, COVID era healthcare programs extended permanently, infrastructure, transportation, and energy. Um, it says here in my notes, it continues investments in highways, bridges, and public transit, funds clean energy projects. So there's really more funds for border patrol and immigration processing, of course, but no additional money for a border wall. Supports hiring for more asylum officers and judges. Um, funds public schools and student loan services, keeps food assistance like SNAP running, funds police, fire responders, and community programs. So, um, based on right is the current iteration, like it keeps the national debt growing, like it doesn't address inflation really at all, um, and really no major reforms. So it's a short term extension. Um, like I said, it's more spending without really any cuts. So I think I mean besides when you talk about it from a democratic standpoint, what do they argue? That it doesn't really expand on the social programs. You know, um, it's not aggressive on climate change. No real bold economic policies. Forgot here in my notes. Um, that I mean, so I think it'll pass. Um, I mean, there's not too much. There's not a ton that the other side could do it here. They got wiped out in the election. So I don't. And because it's a continuation with the spending, that's why I think I don't see any rate cuts coming because it doesn't. It really doesn't decrease spending in any way, shape, or form. Right? We're just continuing resolution to keep the government open. So we'll see. They've been giving information to CPI. Guest on news segment says they've been giving information on CPI on lagged information. Who?
I be watching the news before we get on. And basically whatever I be sleep by 8 o'clock I'm out. So I guess Donald spoke last night on economical growth and stuff like that. And they were saying that the information that was given was on it was off lag information, it was off previous data, and the data is not in yet for them to say if like the tariffs and everything is taking effect and stuff like that.
Somebody said that on the news show.
Yeah, it was.
That goes with that.
I was looking. Of course, it was Fox. It was Doug Luxader. It was the segment they do with Doug Luxader, and they went off to a new segment of a gentleman saying that. Yeah. Sorry.
But it's all that goes without saying though. It's all lagging. What is he talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway, like you know what I mean? Like it's all lagging. It's all lagging data. Like what?
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's shenanigans. It's all wordplay, right? So yeah, it's crazy. Like once you get on the other side of things, right? You see through a lot of the stuff that they're talking about, right? You kind of see the manipulation, and the jockeying for position. Like they cut one of the main areas that they cut for the U.S. Department of Education is where they to track student achievement. They fired all of them. So you're moving into a situation where they're going to be able to formulate whatever results they want to formulate. So if they want to completely crash it, they're going to say it's horribly performing anyway. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know. It's unbelievable. It's really unprecedented what's going on right now in the United States at least. So that's where we are on the fundamentals. Taking a look at the DXY, right? We can see right as the month, of course, down. All right. We seem to be getting a little bit of a foothold there. Not really so quite yet, but we'll see what happens with the data that comes out at 8:30. Um, we'll see, right? If this low holds and we see a little bit of a rally, we got a daily stochastic that's in the buy zone on the DXY. It's been going down for quite some time, so any sort of correction to the upside shouldn't surprise us if we get it. Here we are on a 1 hour. We're in a 80-20 zone on the DXY, right? So we know and we see it's stalling, right? Which is what we look for, right? It's moving sideways. So there's some indecision there at that level, right? You see how it didn't just shoot straight through? It's starting to hold up, right? And so we're starting to get some movement to the upside. So we'll continue to watch it to see if we're in correction territory back to the upside on the DXY, and we'll continue to track the fundamentals you know that can provide us more information on what would support a run back to the upside on the dollar, right? So that's where we are. Any questions on the DXY? No.
No, sir.
Uh, all right, all right. So, looking at uh the spiders, right? Looking at our ETS, we saw, a slight gain in the S&P yesterday. Like I said, early in the futures, you know, um, looking at the futures data, it seemed like, right, it kind of took back, at least in the early part of today, took back some of these gains that we're seeing. Technology up 1.5%. But we will look at some key levels here shortly, um, with some of these tech stocks, to see if, if we could be in an area of where we may start to see some sort of a rebound. So that's there. Switching over, taking a look at the quant, right? Quant box, gold, right? So we've been talking about that for a while. It's crazy. I think when we were all of 2024 traded, I think we were going to what, 2,600, something like that, the extension that was hit. And it's like, man, you can still just be sitting in it really as it approaches 3,000, as a positional setup, because you can see institutional positioning, right? It's still heavily back in gold, silver. Also the yen, right? Where they've got Ryan, good morning.
Morning, bro.
Morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Hey, with the yen, Uita's pretty hawkish, but I think they're not looking at this next decision. I think it's going to be maybe a hawkish pause, right?
Yeah, hawkish
So
pause, looking at third quarter for any moves.
yeah, yeah. So I guess what we're seeing right now is just the anticipation and the buildup, right, of a strengthening yen here.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
because
thinking.
there's still some pieces that aren't quite in line yet. Like I
Yeah,
said, real wages were down. Um, so they're waiting to see how. So after these wage negotiations wrap up, how things start to track, and if that then trickles down from your larger companies to your mid-sized and smaller companies to increase those real wages. Um, and the inflation is in line with where they want. It's around 2.2%. They would like it to be around 2.5. So
yeah.
it's getting there. So things are coming into an alignment, but there's still some pieces that they're looking to uh, still make some progress on.
Got it, got it, got it, got it. All right, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no
So
doubt.
we'll see what happens with that. So we can see, right? We can see where that gold is getting high, right? So you're seeing, some closing of some long positions, right? You're starting to see, um, a net change in regards to into the shorts as we approach 3,000, but still, right? Um, Still long, right? Still long majority, uh, cash and the dollar. Um, so we got a slight change in the long positions, right? Added to the shorts too. So 3 and 3/4 uh percent there, right? And then you can see silver, right? So let's jump over to the charts. So what I want to do is I want to go take a look at some of these euros, right? As we've been pretty low in the euro with some of the most recent data. Now we're sitting pretty high, right? Way overextended our stochastics in the sell zone. Um, but you know, I wonder if we got one more drop to the upside on that. So we got good momentum with the euro. Australian dollar's not doing a whole lot of, anything. So this is a potential position here, right? So we're above the cloud. We're at 50% right now. 4 hour, we've got an official swing low, right? We've got a new candle going down. So keep a close eye on your Euro Aussie setup there, okay? On the 4 hour. Be interested to see if this low holds, or if we turn over, we push a little lower in the zone. But right now, that's looking pretty good. The thing that concerns me, right, is that we've got a stochastic. right, on a daily. That's definitely overbought. But we may create a higher low and keep running, right? And keep running to 100% on that. So I'm interested to watch this one closely, right? Do we close out lower today, or do we start to make the move higher? So keep an eye on that Euro Aussie, as it has made a phenomenal run to the upside on the on that one. So any questions on the Euro Aussie? Nope. Okay. Moving on down, I'm gonna take a look at this Euro CAD setup. So here we got a clean 80-20 that's moving to the downside, right? Actually missed this one, but I saw it this morning, right? So that one's moving down. So still overall bullish. Anybody play this one? Anybody catch this move? I didn't see anything posted on it, but no.
No, I looked at it, but I didn't take it.
Yeah, because of the momentum that's been so strong with the euro.
Yeah,
But
we
yeah,
switched on a little bit on Monday. I mean, on Tuesday.
yeah, yeah. So that's where we are there, right? That's a clean move down. But at this point, with the way everything's going, right, we look for potential buys, right? But it's definitely topping out, right? Just like that Euro Aussie, right? We're looking to form a high here, right? So just wait for your confirmations. Wait for your confirmations. Let's see how far, right? This wants to retrace on this 4 hour. And if we eventually put in a higher low in our zone. So that's one to put on your radars. We're seeing a correction now. Not this one. No, look to Euro Swissy. Um, it's Euro Yen, right? So again, because of the run that is made, right? Your daily stochastics are overbought. We got a 380, we got a 382 here. We're moving back, right? We're oversold there. But I'm watching this one on this on this 1 hour chart. I want to see if it makes, if this holds, right? Or if we turn over and move deeper into our zone. But you can see with your CAD, your Aussie, right? We've got some positions where it's coming right into that 50% zone. So it's just a matter of whether or not it maintains this higher low there. So keep that one on your radar for the Euro Yen. This Euro NZD, right? Again, sitting high, strong fundamentals right behind the euro right now. And then if you come here to the 4 hour, again, almost identical, right? And this is moving pretty good. This is moving pretty good. So this Euro NZD, 4 hour, you got a higher time frame extension there. But if you here, right, an extension there. So with a few of these pairs, it just does that low hold. Looks like it, right? For right now, it's a nice move up, right? So that's officially on this 4 hour, a higher low, right? And we're starting to move higher as a result of this new 4 hour candle. So that's another one there, the Euro NZD, that you want to have on your radar. Okay, on your radar. Let's see. Let's see what happens. With these, interested to see with the news uh, for the United States today, right? 8:30. We've got core PPI, right? So that's going to be a market mover. So let's see what happens. But this one's looking pretty good there. Any questions on the Euro NZD? No?
No, sir.
All right. Take a quick look at this Euro USD. So if that dollar we looked at that DXY, right? If that 80-20 kicks in and the DXY starts moving up, right? We may see this move down, or you may see it stagnate, right? So this one here, right? Not number one, on my radar at all. Been moving bullish, but we're in correction territory now. So of course that data today should weigh heavily on this pair. But just know where we are on the 4. We hit that 118 zone, and we may be due for a correction to the downside on that one. So that's your Euro USD. The pound, Swissy. 1 hour chart. Right. This is looking like it wants to continue to move higher. We got the cloud break, the retest, right? Kind of moving sideways right now at that daily support level, but it's looking pretty good, right? We got a 50 and a 200 crossover there, right? So it's holding above the 50 right now. So I would love to see that continue to swing. We got to push deeper. So there would be the extension, not right. If we continue to break out, which is 100 pips away, right, on the pound Swiss. Okay, fairly bullish right now on the euro, euro dollar and the pound. Any questions on that? Okay.
No, sir.
All right. Continue to be aware of the fundamentals as they are constantly changing, right? And use your confirmations, right? This pound yen, right? So we're holding above this daily level, and hey, I've got on this 4 hour at 193.65 extension. It's the 118 extension, right? Because we got an 8-6 retracement. So we're looking for that to eventually finish out. That's been a pretty good swing. Pretty good swing. So let's see if that can maintain this momentum. A little bit all over the place, right? This move has been, but it seems like it's running in the right direction. The pound NZD moving, right? Continuing to run. And Ryan, you're still holding this one, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So headed in your direction, man. It's 232 extension level, right? And we're moving. We are moving. We got a 50% retracement here. Last the extension got hit and ran through, right? Boom. Right. And so we're moving along. So off this leg here, if you're down on your lower time frames, looking for pullbacks and continuations. Right. So you can lower time frame, you can map it out, to that 228 level in a 1 hour, or right, we can move all the way up higher. Okay. 229, which is the higher time frame extension. So looking good there, right? We came nice off that trend line break. It's beautiful. Beautiful play. So we'll let that keep doing this thing. This pound dollar scenario, right? Kind of similar, right? Making a good run to the upside, lower time frames. We're moving kind of in the correction territory. See what happens with the data at 8:30. That's where any of our dollar crosses to see if it forces a correction or if the dollar continues to weaken, right? That's about all I can say on that right now. So we'll see what happens after 8:30. Moving into taking a look at our commodities. Oil, right, to the downside. That's 80-20. You can see, right, on the quant, right, still, right, oil, favoring oil to the upside when you look at institutional positioning, holding those positions because we were sitting at that's a pretty low price. That's a pretty low price there. Right? Look at that. Right. So we may see, a pullback in oil. I'm not trading right now. Ryan, you're holding it long? Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah,
Or no? Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I'm long.
yeah. So I can't, you know, anytime you get down into these ranges and these prices, you'll start to see some buy positions uh go into play. So, eventually I think that's we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, we'll see what happens. There's been a lot of back and forth with that. So we'll see what happens on the demand side. I think through it all, like we talked about yesterday, I believe it was, is getting those tax cuts to go through. If those tax cuts, of course, um, we're looking for more stability with the tariffs. But I think what's king right now for investors is to lock those tax cuts in. If the tax cuts go in, I think we see a rally in the market. So we want to pay close attention to all of the politics around those tax cuts to see what happens. Um, because I think that'll boost the morale, which can boost demand across the board. So that's where we are on oil. Um, again, right? 3,000 is the target. Think we're gonna get there. 3,055 is the daily extension. So it's been a beautiful run. A beautiful run on gold. It's been running for quite some time. Quite some time. And yeah. So let's see if we can get to that target. That's running pretty good. 29.46. Let's see what happens with this maybe the data today, right? Our core PPI data that comes out. Maybe that's what does the trick and pushes to 3,000 and beyond on gold. So if you hold long, keep holding it, right? Beautiful retest, right? Break, retest, continuation. Silver, continuing bullish, right? So you get into these positions and we hold them for a while, right? Hold them for a while, let them run. Fundamentals haven't shifted. So it's continuing to run long. We've been long on silver for quite some time. So let's see, right? If we can continue on, move to 35 eventually. First, with that deep retracement, 33.86 level, that'll knock this current fib out and complete it, right? But I definitely see it moving to 35, right? Just because of the fundamental support. So eventually we will get there, but that first stop is at 33.86 based on this 4-hour retracement. All right. Any questions on silver?
No, sir.
Joy, all right. Joy, I missed your note there, the format on the day. Is that we talked about on oil?
Yeah, that was order.
That was oil, format on the daily. Yeah, I think it's gonna push up from there. And it may just stay range bound, but I definitely think it's in that territory where it's gonna start to push a little bit higher. Could be wrong, but I think it's due for a rebound, right? This is natural gas 15. That whole thing collapsed. Let's bounce it back and forth. So we got one wave, this one collapsed on that. We got natural gas storage numbers. That's today, right? I think I saw that. I think we talked about that on the yep, today. So we'll see what happens right there if that moves anything. We're back up to this 4, which is where I've really been tracking it from. So we got this correction back down, but we're still, we got a deeper correction, but we're still holding above the previous major low, right? RC. So got a bit of a complex correction there, but still like to see it move higher. Let's see what happens with the gas storage today. All right. So, man, we got close. to that higher time frame target, didn't we? And it rejected. But I think it'll rebound. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we might have another push down. I'm looking for it to come down just below 39.95.
Okay.
So might come, yeah, kind of right around just below where you have your ellipsis there.
Okay.
Just looking at it from the daily perspective. So we might have another push down is what I'm looking for it to come.
Okay.
So
We got seasonality kicking in too, right?
yeah, starting to a little bit.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes on that gas. Been a good run though. That's been a good trade for us for the upside for the most part. Looking at indices. These indices, right? So looking at the S&P continuing to correct, right? I would love to see it move down to that 54, 53 level right on that 61.8. Right to that key level, that would be great. So just looking at the declines, right? So we ain't getting much, right? So we look at we look at the different sectors. It just is what it is. Now, right now, this has been a good time for the bears in the market that have been waiting for this to happen. That have been holding sell positions at these high prices on some of these indices, right? So it's their time to shine right now. Me, I'm just sitting waiting for that good low price, waiting for that good low price to buy. Because you you've got tax cuts looming. At least what he ran on, the policies that are on paper are pro-growth policies. They're pro-growth. So like I say, continue to pay attention, to the politics, what's going on, in the House, to see what's being passed, the debates back and forth. He's got the majority to he controls all houses for 2 years, right? Midterms out until 2026, so this year, next year. Um, so I think a lot of these measures will be passed, and I look for that second part of the year, possibly sooner, for the market to rally. So we'll see what happens. But that's where we are on the S&P, the US 30, similar position, right? Just gonna continue to let it fall, right? That was a heck of a double top there to short. I didn't, but that held. That really held, right? And now we're moving lower. So that's where we are there. I don't know uh, if on any of these I was thinking like 80/20s, but nope, that's probably gonna move bearish. So I was kind of, some of these maybe we start to move into some 80/20 positions to make some counter moves back to the upside, but I don't think so right now. Here's your NASDAQ, that down move on a 1 hour, right? Just continuing to move short. As of right now, we move back up to the daily. You see where we are. So do we take this out? This was previous. Okay. Do we start to stall out and hold, or do we drop down and we actually take that out? Take that A out. I'm hoping we hold in our buy zone. Being super patient. I'm hoping we hold and we see that rally start to take form, right? So that's your NASDAQ. Here we are on the Nikkei, right? Just stalling, right? But we do have the potential Right, for a correction back to the upside when you look at this from the daily and these lows starting to form. Don't know quite yet, but we'll continue to watch it. UK 100, right? Came down, took it out on a one, right? Didn't recover. Let's move to the higher time frame. Testing the cloud. See, it's daily. So coming out of that 80-20 zone, right? Do we see more downside? The guys in the buy zone, right? Is the short-term move, right? Do we move back up, right? To retest the low, and then we make one more drive down. This, clean this up a bit. See if this low holds. See if we get that to hold. All right, but we could move up higher and turn over. So stochastics in the buy zone. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. Where it looks like we're forming a low. Okay. So just be patient with these, right? Just continue to map your charts out. See what happens. This is a technical 80-20. Right. So we may turn back over, pull back a bit, then turn back over and hit that level. Right. So if you're playing a daily 80-20 on this is what you want to see. Right? Because you needed to get to target one in order to buy. Right? So that's the longer term perspective on that. Right? Push lower, then eventually buy. And so maybe this is the short term move, which if you're trading, right, your lower time frames, right, you can make, a move back to the upside on that, but then maybe it turns back over. Right. So short term move to the upside off this low that forms, and then eventually maybe we move back down. So that's where we are on the UK 100 and GR 30. Right, still holding within the 80 boundary on the 4. Right. Time will tell us if that wants to hold what we look like on the daily. Right. So looking at that daily time frame, we may see a move. We may see a move lower, right? Nothing I want to do with that right there. Right, in my opinion. That's where we are. Okay. Take a look at the Russell. Okay. Do we come down? Do we double bottom at this monthly level, 1981? Don't know, right? Just continue to monitor, right? Some of these are really, really setting up at what are perceived good low prices, but we just don't know yet. We just don't know for sure yet. So, hey, if Warren Buffett is sitting in cash, I'm sitting in cash too. Right? Don't have to make it rocket science. A lot of this stuff. So I know that for a fact, right? That's what he's been reporting for actually quite some time. But just recently doubled down on it. So who am I to question that move? Right. So I follow suit. sit in cash, wait for low prices, make your money once we get more clarity in regards to tariffs and policies. Any questions over anything that we covered today? No?
No, sir.
Ryan, anything before we close out, sir?
No, sir. Great session, bro.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I did look at gold. I'll go back real quick. For those of you that logged on late, I closed out just a little bit early because I got a presentation this morning. So let me take a look at it. Gold, we got to hit it towards 3,000. It's making a good push. Look at that. Right? So that high is probably going to get taken out. But like we said, we'll see what happens with that data this morning. All right, look at the data this morning that's coming out again at 8:30, core PPI. Right. So that's where we are, right? Institutional positioning is still heavily in gold. You're welcome. You're welcome. So my last important words this morning, keep your money in your pocket. Let's wait. Let's wait. You know, if you're not in a good, like if you're not trading gold or some of those, we've looked at very few positions and saying, hey, this is a goal, like some of those euro and those pound pairs. Other than that, just relax, right? Keep your eyes on the market, keep your eyes on the fundamentals, and we just sit back, right? We sit back and we pick our spots. Have a good day, everybody. See you tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the pre-New York session. Bye for now.